Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is.
Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now today we're talking about 4 things that will make you a millionaire if you do them. Now that's 4 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will make you a millionaire if you do them. Now, becoming a millionaire is not something that just happens. You don't see people that, all of a sudden they are just a millionaire and they just say, oh, how did I get here? No. Becoming a millionaire is a result of a deliberate action. And those actions, they follow habits. So there are things that a lot of millionaires have in common. And if you do those things, chances are you're also going to be a millionaire. Money does not respect people. Money respects principles. So you have to understand that money is not capable of being racist. It's an inanimate object. So if you learn those habits, if you learn those practices, if you learn those things and you do them with discipline, chances are you're going to be a millionaire. In fact, I would almost guarantee it, but you can never account for, emergencies like war. For instance, if you are in Ukraine, there's a war going on and it's going to affect you. But other than force majeures like that, if you put these practices into, if you put them and make them your daily habit, if you make them a principle of your life, you're going to become a millionaire. Now, what are those 4 things that will make you a millionaire if you do them? Now, the very first thing is this: register a company. Even if you don't have a business that you're going to do right now, or you don't even have an idea of what you want to do, just register a company. Just have a company. Have a company. It's not very expensive to register a company, nowadays. If you're in America, you can register a company for a very, 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 very limited amount of money. In California, I think you can register a company for about $90. If you are in maybe a country like Ghana, it's not very expensive. Nigeria just brought theirs drastically down in Nigeria, so you can register a company in Nigeria for less than the equivalent of $100. Don't say to yourself, where am I going to get $100? You're using the phone. How much is your phone? Now, so you need to make sacrifices. Register a company. Now, why do you need to register a company? You see, most monies in the corporate world are not paid to individuals. They're not paid to individuals. Something like 76% of the fund transfers in the corporate world are paid through companies. They are paid through companies. So if you don't have a company, you are shut out. And then the remaining 24%, in fact, companies are involved somehow. So you want to register a company. Maybe you are at a club and you just having a conversation with someone, and then an idea, you just happen to have hear from him an opportunity, and then you go to him, like maybe he just says, oh, you know what, my company, we want to do something. We want to give out some jobs. I kind of like you. I'm going to give you that job. If you don't have a company handy, ready, you're not going to get that. They are not going to pay an individual. So just have a company, register a company, open an account with that company name, put some money there, not just much, to maintain the account, and then you'll be ready. Opportunity is going to come. You don't know when it's going to come, so you want to be ready when opportunity comes, right? Now, the second thing that you want to do if you want to become a millionaire is you have to invest in learning how to write business proposals. So you have to understand what a feasibility study is. You've got to understand, how to do costing. Now, these are things that you can learn on the internet. I learned them, myself, at school, but you can learn them today on the internet. You can go to Coursera and learn them for free. You can go on YouTube, you can learn it for free. There are a variety of ways that you can learn them. But learn how to write a business plan, a business proposal. Learn about feasibility studies. Why do you need that? Because when you want to go into business, you're going to be needing money. Nobody, these billionaires, you see all these billionaires that you see on the Forbes list, they don't go into business with their own money. They go into business with what they call OPM, other people's money. They write a business proposal, they do feasibility studies, and they present it to a bank. And then a bank gives them money, funds their business, and then the bank has a stake in that. And then if the business fails, then the bank will take up the assets of the business, and then the margin that maybe the money that is available from their business is not enough to cover the loan, then an insurance company, because the loan is going to be insured, the insurance company will pay the margin. So people don't do business with their own money. Only small and possibly medium scale business people do business with their own money. I'll give you a very good example. If you Google right now, just research this on Google. Dangote took a loan of about $650 million from the Africa Export-Import Bank. So that's called the Afrexim Bank. The Africa Export-Import Bank. For short, it's called the Afrexim Bank. Now, Dangote is worth about $15-16 billion. Now, why would he take a loan of $650 million when he's worth about $15-16 billion? Why? It's because nobody does, at that level, nobody does business with their own money. It's too risky. So you don't want to do business with your own money and you lose your own money. Tesla, he took a loan. Elon Musk, he took loans, and invested into Tesla. You can research it. The same thing, Facebook, they take loans to buy companies. So look at that. Tesla, the guy is probably the richest man in the world. Why is Elon Musk taking loans? Because people don't do business with their own money. It's too risky. So what you want to do is you want to write a business plan, you want to have a business proposal, you want to have feasibility studies, present it. Banks are always looking for ideas to fund. If not a bank, then you have a venture capitalist. But you're not going to be able to access that money. You're not going to be able to have access to that money if you do not know how to write a business plan or a business proposal or feasibility studies. Now, that's the second thing that you have to do. Now, what's the third thing that you have to do? Now, when you have a company and you know how to write a feasibility plan, business proposal, business plan, and you are able to get funding for your business, you're probably going to be making some money, which is going to be called profit. Now, when that profit comes in, what you want to do immediately is that you want to convert that money that comes from your profit from cash into assets. Why? Because assets are more guaranteed to hold their value than cash. Assets are more guaranteed to hold their value than cash. You have to understand something there is that inflation affects money. Inflation hardly affects cash. So I'll give you a very good example. If you have an asset like maybe a kilogram of gold, now, that kilogram of gold in 10 years' time is still going to be a kilogram of gold. Inflation is not going to make it reduce from a kilogram of gold. But the value of that kilogram of gold today, maybe the value, I think a kilogram of gold is going for about $63,000. Now, if you have a $63,000, if you keep that money in the bank, in 10 years' time, inflation would have reduced that money and half of its value would have gone. But then in 10 years' time, that kilogram of gold, when you want to price it in 10 years' time, it will be recalculated to the present day price, which is not going to be $63,000 anymore. It's going to be much higher. So you want to, if as profit comes in, you want to convert that profit from physical cash into assets. Even if your emergency funds, okay, yeah, you can put emergency funds in banks, but nowadays you don't even have to keep your emergency funds in bank because in less than 24 hours, within hours, you can convert assets into cash if you need them. And then what's the final thing that you want to do? The final thing that you want to do is you want to have a mixed portfolio of assets. So you don't want to just put all your assets in, all your money into one kind of asset. It's risky. So you want to put your money into a mixed portfolio. And now what do I mean? You want to have conservative portfolios. What are conservative portfolios? Things like the S&P 500. It has a 96-year history. It started in 1926, and so it's been indexed for 96 years. And so you know that it's safe, it's secure. It will give you between 8 and 12% per annum interest. So that's a good, safe, conservative asset, but it's not going to give you a whole lot of money. Just between 8 to 12%. And then right now, inflation in the US has just risen yesterday for the first time above 7%. It's now about 7.9%. So if you get in from your investment something like 8% to 12%, the margin of profit from when you take the inflation rate of 7.9%, it's not very high. So you want to have other riskier assets. Now, when I say riskier assets, something like cryptocurrency, it's riskier, but with risk come a lot of profit. So you can make a lot of profit, you can also lose your money. So maybe you want to put some of your money in riskier assets. Then also maybe you want to put your money in intermediate risk assets. Why? Maybe something like silver, gold, you want to put your money there. Or maybe you want to put your money in something like maybe real estate. So you have a mixed portfolio so that your money is making a lot of money from the riskier assets, and then if anything happens, you're protected by the conservative assets. Because you got to understand, banks exist to suck money from people who don't know what to do with their money and give that money to people who know what to do with their money. I'll give you a very good example. If you have $1,000,000 and you don't know what to do with it, you put that money in the bank. And then you start getting interest. Of course, your interest rate is going to be lower than the inflation rate. So although your money might be increasing in amount every year, it's actually reducing in value. Now, what does the bank do with that money to get money to pay you interest? They look for people who have business ideas, business plans, who have feasibility studies, and then they lend them your money at a rate much higher than the inflation rate. And then those people go and do business with that money, and then they invest, and then they get money. They pay the bank back, and the bank gives you some little percentage and keeps the rest. So you have to understand how to invest your own money by yourself, because money is never static. Money is never static. Money is either increasing in value or it is shrinking, but it's never static. Now, my name is Reno Mokri. Now, if you've watched this and you have questions arising from this, then you can put them in the comment section. Now, it has to be questions arising from this. Don't tell me, oh, Pastor Reno, I love your jacket. I know it's a nice jacket, but that's not the kind of questions I'm looking for. I'm looking for questions that arise from what I've taught here. Put them in the comment section. My staff, God bless you, my staff. They're very good at curating comments. They're going to bring them to me, and I will respond to as many as I can. Now, remember, I do not have a Gmail email address. I do not have a Telegram channel. I do not have a WhatsApp forum. Scammers have seen that my videos tend to go viral. And so they've created a number of fake YouTube profiles. They go to the comment section, they approach people telling them helpline, guideline, one-on-one info, one-on-one mentoring, more useful tips. And then you go and communicate with them. They ask you to pay some money and they dupe you. Now, I'm here to help spread prosperity, not to help spread poverty. So please do not get involved with them. Now, this is Brandon Mokri saying, God bless you.